Yes, so I think there is this problem with our continent that we have to start and really pay serious attention to it because for me, it baffles me and it's very difficult for me to understand why we allow certain systems to actually bedevil us, right? Because tell me why we have a system that is ruling us as a system of government where the candidate or a contestant to an election is also made to be the person appointing the electoral body or the electoral system, right? Because that is what we are running now. The incumbent government, who has the opportunity to appoint virtually every position in the system or in government, will also be contesting for the next election. For me, I find it as problematic and one of the reasons why Africa is actually not growing or not developing. And there is always tension and conflict here and there. Because it's natural order that the opposition, okay, will never accept the outcome of any electoral system where the appointee is also a candidate. Okay, so this past conference of Harakati and Muungano, there was a system that was proposed. That's the incumbent non-self-succession, where the incumbent government doesn't have the opportunity to contest again in the election that they manage. Okay, and I believe that this is a system that we have to adopt as a continent. Reason being that one, the incumbent government they have the resources. They appoint all the levers. They control the election. And you can mention IGP is in their hands, the electoral bodies are in their hands, the military are in their hands, and they control everything that has to do with the electoral system. So if those people are also still contested, how do you expect them to lose the election? So I think it's a big flaw when it comes to this part of our continent. And because our system is more of ethno-attached and people actually have this heart with regards to their political system, it leads to a lot of death and a lot of conflict. And that is not healthy for this part of our continent. And if you bring it to our normal lives, if you look at a football game and the referee is appointed by one of the football teams, I'm not sure anybody will accept the outcome of the game. Because take Barcelona and Real Madrid, for instance, La Liga, El Clasico, and you tell me that Barcelona should appoint the referee. That would be, let's say, administering the game. Barcelona should appoint the referee. Then at the end of the day, you expect Real Madrid to accept the outcome of the game. That's not possible. That's not possible. Even a system whereby we have a whole independent body that is appointing the referee, just imagine sometimes the friction that comes with it. Yeah. And you tell me Barcelona should appoint the referee, and at the end of the game, Real Madrid should accept it. And I think that is the problem of Africa now, as far as our electoral system is concerned, and our political system is concerned. Because the incumbent government, they control the levers. They appoint the electoral commissioner, and they go into the contest with them. At the end of the day, you don't expect them to lose. So, yes, and during the conference, I think the president of Harakati mentioned that in Africa, for instance, the incumbent, they don't even lose election. All right? I mean, the opposition, they don't win election. It's the incumbent that loses. That was his quotation. And I think it's very true because if I am appointing the system, I'm appointing the electoral system, you don't expect me to lose. And it happens across our African country. Go to Togo, look at Ivory Coast. There are most of the presidents that have been in power for a longer period. And if you should allow the system, they can rule forever. So it's about time we actually restructure this system. It's about time we actually look at this system so that we have a system whereby the incumbent government does not have the opportunity to succeed itself. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Joshua, I think that you're on the right path. I will also say that incumbent non-self-succession, I think it guarantees at least one of the opposition parties to come to power. If you know that you are coming to power, you will criticize very constructively, and you will not try to destabilize the current government. What they are doing that you think that is on the right path, you're going to support. And what you think that they are doing wrong, and you criticize, they will also take it to heart, because both the opposition and the ruling government, what they are all doing is for the country to move forward, for developments, for their citizens to do well. Everybody will have a job. I think that employment cannot be 100%, but it will get somewhere. Because everybody, the opposition know that he will come. If you know that you are coming to power, why do you think that you are going to bring the person who is now on power, you're going to bring him down? If he's doing the right thing, you're going to support. And if he's not doing the right thing, you're going to criticize, but constructively. Even at times, since you are all citizens of the same country, you even put your support to help them. Because you know that if they leave power, you are going to come. And if you have spoiled it, you have bring it down, it's going to take a while to come out from the hole before you get to the level ground to, help your country. Let me give an example. Let's say husband and wife, they are going to divorce. Every divorce is a bitter divorce. Every divorce is fierce. And husband and wife want to get hold of the child. They want to keep the child. So if the divorce judge say that, okay, husband, during the week, you're going to keep the child Monday to Friday, because maybe the child's school is closer to you. And on the weekend, it goes to the mother, and the mother will take care of the child on the weekend. So if this is arranged and is understand and everybody go by it, everybody will be happy. It's not that the child will go to the one parent and the other parent will not get the access to even see his child. It will be a very problematic. As I said earlier, the government in power is leading the country right now. He will do the right thing. And even if he's not doing the right thing, the criticism will not be like to bring the party down, to make sure that the party does not succeed in anything. But the opposition knows that they are also going to come to power. And again, one thing, the wealth distribution is going to be evenly distributed. The people that the government in power appoints them, he will appoint the qualified people. And if you got a position in the government or you got a position somewhere, the perks and everything that comes to you, it will take care of all your family. And if the opposition too comes to power, he too will appoint people who will lead the country. And they too will be okay. As far as you are leading a country, there are some things that you get. You get perks, you get traveling expenses, you get all those things. So the wealth distribution will be equal. Nobody will be subservient to the other. So I think this non-self-succession that Harakati and Muungano is bringing is a very good thing that the country have to think very, very deep about it and implement it.
So for me, I think the incumbent non-self-succession model will be very good for Africa. Why am I saying this? From the experience of Ghana, most of the time, we see that the successive executive governments, when they come to power, they abandon the previous government's projects, which is also another way of wasting money and resources. For example, we have NDC MPP in Ghana. When NDC comes and build up things or bring up projects, NPP comes, abandon it, and try to find their own name. Because they think if they complete that project, that name will be given to NDC, the glory will be given to NDC. And the same way, NPP also thinks that when they also do the same thing, it's the other way round. So they will not do it. They will try to pursue new projects in their own honor. We have schools, hospitals, roads, we have affordable houses abandoned. This incumbent non-self-succession being brought by Harakati Muungano is a very good model for Africa and for Ghana especially, as I know. So let's all put our efforts into it and then promote it so that I think it will bring very big benefits to the whole African continent. That is what I also have to say.
Okay, I think we have all talked about conflict in Africa. And when you look at our individual countries, you see, we are just fighting against one another. Our own houses, just like people, we always say, a house that stands against itself cannot stand. If you are fighting, we are fighting. Look at Congo, what is happening there at Congo. The same country, and brothers are fighting because of what? The resources that we have. And we are fighting for these resources. And the fight is bringing the third person, which is maybe the foreign countries. Look at Congo, for instance. It's America who is coming to mediate between Congo brothers who are fighting. But this is not for nothing. They have an interest. They will come and say, oh, stop fighting. But behind, they will again go and tell you, oh, my friend, you do this and do that. So the fight will continue. And they use this, because if you are divided, definitely the enemy will have the chance to destroy the two of you, those of you who are fighting. So I think that we have to look at that as Africans. We have to look at that. We must make sure that we are united. And what is bringing the fight? Sometimes it's our governance system. You are getting it, I'm not getting it. So I want it. So I'll make sure that I also use some means to get what I want. Why can't we come together as brothers and sisters and decide on something? Oh, this is for all of us. You also take some small one, I take some small one, others will also take. But if you want to take everything and I will go hungry, I will not allow it. So I think that we have to look at that seriously, because that is what is giving the chance to the third party, which is maybe foreign countries, that will come and deplete our resources and leave us, because that's what they want. I don't see the interest of America in DR Congo, for instance, if it is not for their personal interest. They need the resources, the natural resources, the mines. They need all these things. So they will come, and when they come, I think they are separating you, people who are fighting, brothers who are fighting. When you are fighting, oh, don't do it. Then they dip their hand deep into our resources, take them, and go away. It's not helping. So I think that we have to look at our governance system very well. See, the winner takes all is not helping. The winner takes all is not helping. How do we go for an election and somebody has 40%, another one has 35%, and the other one has 20%, and all this, and we give it to the 40% because he has the highest. And he is there. So when you put all of us together, those of us who have less than 40, we are more than the 40% he has. So we have 60, but we will not be represented. He will be there as a winner. And when the government is going to appoint, what does he do? He only appoints his own people. The one who has the 40% will have an appointment. And the 60 of us who have the 60% that we have, nothing will happen to us. So we need to look at it, because I don't think that this issue should be a do or die affair. No. You come and do whatever you can do as an administrator. You go and you have the opportunity for what we are saying at Harakati Muungano. You have the opportunity to come back. If your people think that you have done well, they will still vote for you. What we want to avoid is the conflict, because if you know that, or if the people know, or you yourself you know that you will not succeed yourself, what will happen is that what do you call it, aggressiveness to be maintained as a leader will not be there, because you know after one term you are going, and then another person will come. So after that term, you have the opportunity to come back. Let's even take the example of our current president. He left in 2016. And for 2 terms, he was in opposition. When he stood again, what happened? He won. And people were now comparing his first term to those who came after him. And then now, they think that, then he did better. And when he comes, he will still do better. So you go and come, it's the way to go. If you become a Methuselah in an office, you just take certain things for granted. You will think that, that is how it is. So you continue. Your people will not be happy. So I think that as Africans, we have to look at our way of doing things, and because we are lagging behind in terms of development, we are not developing at the speed we have to go. So that is what I want to add. Thank you.
Okay, it is very true that during the recent conference held by Harakati Muungano that hosted 16 African countries, we launched a campaign for the incumbent or self-succession model of governance. And we advocate that in this system or in this model, the president or the ruling party will not be allowed to succeed themselves. They have to leave power for at least a term or more before they will be able to participate in any election or to come back to power. So that is what we are advocating for. And this model will actually help the African countries to stop fight or conflict whenever there is election coming. When they are getting towards election period, you will see that there is always call for prayers. There is always call for convention and others, so that they pray for a country. And this always happens in most of the African countries. When there is an election, there is always chaos. Fights, they kill people mercilessly. Even during campaign period and during election, they kill people. So when we are able to implement this model, I think those things will be reduced. The same way, if we are able to implement this incumbent non-self-succession model, we will be able to bring in new people with new experiences, new expertise, a new way of saying things. Once new people have taken over, you will see that there will be growth in the country. You will see that there will also be progress in way of doing things in the country, because the person or the president who was ruling might exhaust all his expertise. Then when that president steps down, a new president has taken over, he will also come with new idea, new way of seeing things. He will build upon all that was done before. Then when the new president term also is over and he also steps down, maybe the previous president might come and take over again. Then when he sat down and have a look at things, he may have new perspective of seeing things. He may have new things to add up. So this model will actually help the African continent very well. If I take, for instance, the example of Togo, our neighboring country just here, you will see that they have adopted one president being ruling for decades now. Even though they have a lot of political parties, you will see that it is the same political party that keep on ruling. So, Harakati za Muungano is actually advocating for the incumbent non-self-succession model for Africa, so that there will be growth and continuity for Africa. Thank you.
So I think that in addition to all that you said, the basic thing that we are saying is that implementing a system whereby the incumbent does not have the opportunity to sustain itself will go a long way to develop this part of our continent, Africa. And we've all experienced the system that we've run over the years, where the political system or the power brokers, the party in power, only focus on the short-term development that will just lure them to win the next election. If you look at our system now, in fact, roam across all Africa, realize that the kind of policies that they carry are those that will help them win the next election. That is all. So the main focus, the mindset, and everything about our people, which is those in power, is about winning the next election. So anything that they can do to win the next election, they are ready to do it. So the thinking is short-termism. There is no long-term plan that would develop the whole continent. And I believe that is the main reason why we are struggling as a continent. Okay, and if you take Ghana, for instance, our 2020 election, we lost life. And in fact, you can even go back into the future. Maybe I'm not older enough. The current one, 2024, we lost a lot of life. And the whole basis of this is that the opposition does not trust the electoral commission or the system. Reason being that they are being appointed by the incumbent government, who is also a candidate and a contestant of the election. So simplicity. Let's avoid this system. And the whole thing is that the incumbent, after excusing itself for the current election, they still have the opportunity to come back. All right. So it's not like you are being barred or you are being banned from. No. Just avoid this election. Be the manager, be the overseer, be the organizer, be the moderator, because you control affairs. Do that for us so that the minority groups can contest. In that case, there is some fairness. There is some, it makes sense. That's rational. And it aligns with the examples that we gave, that it's the football settings. The referee, the person appointing it, should be independent. The person cannot be a candidate of the election. and that is all that we are talking about. So yes, that is that.
I just wanted to add to what you said, because you notice that in Africa, once you have won an election, even before you are inaugurated, before you are put into office, you start talking about the next election. It's not helping. That is why we have the short-term development plan. It's not helping us. You come and do it after 4 years or 5 years or so, then you may not even finish what you have started. So going and coming back. You see, when you are cutting a path, as is said, you don't know how crooked it is. So you come back after a term, you might have done some of the wrong things that you did when you were in power. Then you can now change when you come for your second coming. You change and do things better than when you were in office. So I think that is the way to go.
So in conclusion, incumbent non-self succession, what we are saying is that it doesn't only solve the problem of the conflict, but also it brings novelty, new ideas, and the opportunity for people to look back to what they did and even come back and do it better. Thank you all.